All right, you ready? Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Darcy.
Good morning, Jeff.
Well, it's Wednesday, and I don't have a bunch of tabs open to crypto stuff, so that's kind of weird.
It's a new day.
It's a new
A
day.
new Wednesday.
Oh, a new Wednesday?
Yep.
I'm trying to get back into our YouTube thing. I didn't have it. With all our concurrent viewers,
Yeah.
all our friends love to tune in.
Well, it's because I forgot to set up the picture. They were confused.
Oh, they were confused with the little
my fault.
butterfly coffee.
They're like, we're not interested in this.
It doesn't matter. I guess we're what is the word? Derivative? Isn't that like where you repeat other people and stuff like that?
Oh, maybe.
I think that's the way you
Thought
say
you were
it.
thinking like dull, or I'm just
No,
kidding.
not doll. I wouldn't never describe. Well, maybe. I guess. I don't know. I guess it depends on what you like as far as entertainment. But no, you really let you made me sad this morning with Steve Endow's "I Need
Oh
Coffee"
man,
thing,
I was sad too.
which
I
we'll
did
talk about
realize that
later.
he's
Go ahead.
got a lot of.
Oh yeah.
It's like a whole series. I didn't realize. I was like, oh well.
Well, just another resource for people to use, but it's just kind of
Yep.
funny because didn't even know it existed, and we were just talking about and his even has coffee in his name. At least ours
Yeah.
doesn't for this show.
I know. Yep.
But it's kind of like our AI art that we were doing yesterday, where
Oh
it's sampled from all those different images and stuff, and when you don't know that something exists, are you really copyright infringing things? And it even goes back to comedian jokes and stuff like that, with like the Carlos Mencia saga, where he claims he didn't steal anybody's jokes, but some of his jokes were really close to other people's um, joke style, or not really style. The jokes were the same. He just changed changed the names of the innocent. Or what? Change the names of the people to protect the innocent.
yeah.
It's an interesting whole little thing. So.
Yeah. I think we'll be okay.
We'll be okay because we're going to
Yeah.
cover all kinds of coding and not just Business Central, hopefully.
Well, yeah, but also, I mean, you have to remember Steve Endow is a person. We are a bear and eggplant. So right there, right off the bat, completely different.
We're a bear and an eggplant.
The rules don't apply.
And we're a comedy show. I don't know if he claims to be a comedy show. Like all our shows are comedies, so then we don't have to be held accountable for anything we say.
That doesn't mean they're funny, folks. It's just just trying to set expectations.
That's so funny. So, something that we kind of started the channel around and then got away from for a while was the coding side of things. Pretending to program, hence the name, was supposed to be more about programming things. And we've done some programming, but we've done a lot of other things too. Hopefully, they've been informative and helpful to everybody. So we're not ending the other two series as well. One's kind of on pause or gonna be definitely less of them, but the Saturday show for Coffee and Science is still just like normal. Saturdays at 8:30 or 8:38, and the Crypto Corner is probably the one you're not going to see quite as much anymore for no other reason than just it really didn't seem to pick up viewership or other people didn't seem too interested in it. It doesn't mean that our interest has changed. So we will probably highlight that as needed on this show, I would imagine. Maybe on the other one, but the Saturday show is pretty packed with other stuff. And I got a lot of good feedback from the format of the last Saturday show, where we're going to do half hour of new science stuff, and then we'll do an hour of a whole topic of something. Last week we covered the Amazon. Previously we did space and ocean. Before that, not like the episode before that, but a little while back. So we'll continue with that theme. We like that theme. It works better for us planning it too, and drawing pictures and things like that. So that brings us to today's show. What is community coding? Well, Darcy, you can tell us what community coding is.
It's coding as a community.
That's a very eggplant-esque explanation. Do you care to elaborate a little more?
I don't know. What do you want?
What do I want? Oh, it's the
Well, I
best.
think the idea, we were hoping, to work on some things that we see in Business Central, not just the upcoming things, but just issues that we see, or go through other people's issues, try and help out the community, and hopefully have some of our friends hop on and tell us what they're seeing, issues that they've solved, things like that. Did I miss? I'm sure I missed a lot.
No, that's good enough.
Okay.
I would say the main focus of our channel is to have hopefully people join and ask questions, or want us to work through different things that they may be having trouble with. So this would be a very community driven live stream until we pick up more than our one viewer that's laying secret.
Yeah.
That we'll have to kind of carry the show. Like today we're going to go over what is Business Central kind of really quickly, because it looks like I got a lot of tabs open, and different resources that you can go to and look at and listen to and read to help get you started on this great journey of a career. Business Central is really fun. I think it's a really good product. It has other competitors that do similar things, and they may do it as well. I can't say for sure because I haven't. Oh, we just lost our viewer. Oh no. That's so sad. That's always so funny. It's like right in the middle of you talking about what the show's, what it's all about, and they're just like, not interested.
I'm not showing them gone.
You didn't show them gone? I showed the number still there, but then on my little chart it disappeared. There's like a little graph, and it's so horrible. It's so distracting in the corner of my eye.
Don't look at it.
Don't look at it. I think it's fun to reference. Now we got 2 views, so somebody's trying to figure out how to access, or their internet's going in and out.
Maybe it's Grandma.
Maybe it's Grandma. I didn't hear anybody downstairs.
Oh. She's like, I'm gonna sleep through this.
She's in bed with her computer on. She's learning all about Business Central. I forget where I left off, but there is tons of stuff to cover. There are lots of resources out there. I think it's a great product. There's other products that may do as well or not as well. I can't comment like confidently to say that they're not good or they're better, because I haven't worked in them as long as I've worked in Business Central. Of course, you've passed by them or integrated with different ones, and so there's always that. But yeah, so we would really like to just kind of dive into what is Business Central, where do you go, where do we go to get information, what do we find helpful, what do we not find helpful. Hopefully this is kind of a good episode that we can break apart and make smaller videos of real quick to help people in their new journey or their old journey and just get better. Anything else you want to add? Oh, we got DB. DB's in the house.
Hey, DB. No, I'm just really hopeful that as we go forward, people ask questions and um, give us some fun things to try and figure out.
I was responding in chat, so then people that only read chat and that maybe are on silent can see that we actually respond to people.
Yeah.
And I
That
like
would
to
be
see.
that would be a really boring way to watch a podcast.
Live stream podcast, yeah. No sound, just our
Yeah.
animations. Ooh, that would be cool. They could ad lib it like we did before.
Oh, yeah. That was
Fun and sad.
so fun and so sad.
For those that may
I
not
forgot.
know, you want to tell them, Darcy?
Oh yeah, we did a show with no sound. So then we redid it uh, and tried to talk through all the things that we were doing and maybe some of the things we were saying at the time. It was pretty silly and fun.
The best part is we've done that multiple times.
Well, the
Where we
recording inside.
where we've recorded and not had any sound. It almost happened this morning, and that's uh, we have a new system that I've moved the sound bars around so I can see really quickly
Oh,
if they're lit up or not. It's still OBS, but I just rearranged the windows a little bit. Put the sound
I
on
did check
top.
too. Oh, hey.
Yeah, yeah.
So it jumps out at you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so,
Nice.
yeah, Business Central. What is Business Central? Well, it's an ERP system. I think they're trying to rename that. Like, I don't know. ERP is a hard thing to wrap your head around,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
What is it? Enterprise resource planning or something to that effect?
Hey, let's Google it. I don't know. I haven't had to know what it was since college.
You haven't had to know. ERP system.
Yeah, you're right. Enterprise resource planning. I knew it was enterprise and resource. I just couldn't remember what the P stood for.
Yeah, nobody cares what ERP means, but let's see what
Nope.
this picture says. An ERP system. What is ERP? Yeah, I guess we should have started here before we even jumped into Business Central. So we'll go back here. We'll add this new tab. And we'll publish all these tabs for any viewers that may want to review this. For the more advanced viewers, I'd hang on maybe in case we show some of our links of resources that we like. But definitely the first part about what is Business Central may be a little bit boring to you, but maybe not. Maybe you didn't know what ERP stood for. I think there are people that code that don't know what it stands for.
Uh, well, we both had. You had to think about it for a minute, and I had to.
Well, I always want to say
Probably.
entity resource planning
Oh.
um, instead of enterprise. That's where I always got to remember which E word because entity also
Mm.
fits. I think
Yep.
it just depends what your entity is. But yeah, I definitely had to think about it for a second. So we have ERP. It can handle customer web portal. Yeah, I guess that one ours doesn't do the best on. CRM and sales, distribution, time and projects, dashboards, finance, manufacturing, and purchasing. So it
Yep. It's
says,
true.
yep, it can do all those things. What is the ERP and how can it help your business? Well, it stands for what we just said, the type of software companies use to organize day-to-day business activities such as project management, accounting, supply chain operations, peculiarness. Handles your
Yes. Very.
peculiarness. Well, it is peculiar. Risk
Yeah.
management and compliance. Many ERP applications play a crucial role in companies as they help them implement resource planning by merging all the processes required to run their companies with a single system. I wish they really did get a single system in the end.
Yeah.
I was just doing a map yesterday, and it's crazy just for ourselves um, of all the different systems that we integrate with, and it's just interesting.
Yeah, we're building something out at my place too.
So
Pretty common.
ERP can be custom. Huh? What were you saying?
I said it's pretty common, huh?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Like, oh yeah.
Doing
It
mapping.
would, yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
I was trying to map our social media thing.
oh, fun.
ERP can be customized. What?
No.
No way. If you need some features like adding or editing or removing features, you can custom ERP to do it. What? You can customize ERP to do it for you. I don't know. Find the ERP system that isn't talking about your company's language. No problem. We can change the language. Oh, isn't what? These last couple sentences didn't make sense.
Yeah, no.
But whatever. Customize it, make it work for you. Advantages, focused IT cost, total visibility, reporting planning, improved efficiency. Disadvantages, cost of the ERP software. Yeah. It's going to cost some money.
Yeah, that always hurts, huh?
What is it? What is Business Central? 70 and 100? Something to that effect?
Oh, I don't know. I try not to.
I think it's like $70 a month per user and then $100 a month per user, depending on what level you want. And those are just total pulling out of the air last I heard numbers. I don't know what current numbers are because we don't sell the software. We have other people do that.
Yep.
We just code. Code. So the cost of the software implementation and maintenance. Cost of implementation, but maintenance, it just depends. I don't think it's bad if things are set up certain ways. And the customization process is expensive too. Types of ERP, a custom one and off-the-shelf one. Okay. Why do companies choose ERP? Well, we just covered that. How much will it cost? A butt ton of money. Like from a regular person, from a business standpoint, I don't know. In perspective, does it cost that much? I mean, I know it's an expensive cost, but compared to running a bunch of different systems and having IT staff and your users having to know all these different systems that may be cheaper because they're off the shelf and then they don't link together, and I don't know. So I guess it just depends on point of view. 3 months to a year, yeah, I would say that you don't want to probably those rapid few week, 1 month. If you got any customization, no.
Yeah, that's
and even training. Like, think about the users. That'd be crazy. Like, to have to get slammed into a system that's like you're going from QuickBooks to Business Central.
Yeah, I think that's probably where you get a lot of issues with a lot of processes become manual when they don't need to be. Like, people don't know that there's things that they can do already. They're like, I'll just export this to Excel.
Yep.
And do all the work there and then put it back in.
Because I'm super fast in Excel. And it's like, yeah, that's cool. But guess what? The system can do all that for you and then hand it to you, and you only got to do a little bit in Excel. And then it could be even faster.
And the amount of time that it took you just to export it to Excel. Or, there's...
So if you're going to get a new ERP system, I would say 3 months is a fair. With no customizations, 3 months would be a fair plan. That's where I'd be at. I'd be like, take a month to learn it, take a month to get used to it, and then a month to hash out any of your questions. And then you'll be ready to go live. Something to that effect. And I mean, it's different for different groups. The larger the company, larger the company, they'll need customizations. But if you're a little baby company with like 2 people working in it, you might be able to pull it off in a month. I don't know. Depends on how techy they are. All right.
Yeah.
I gotta move some stuff. So give me a sec. I don't like this other mouse is in the way of my other mouse. Yes, I have 2 mice, a trackball and a regular vertical mouse.
Fancy.
Yeah, I know. For my broken wrist. No, it's for my stupid wrist that doesn't work anymore. Too many years of being on a mouse. I can't even steer it without like a wrist brace. I feel definitely the years coming on. I have like a wrist brace. I have special ergonomic mice that I have to switch between because like one wears out my hand halfway through the day, so then I got to switch back to the other one. It's struggles.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I can take a picture. I'm not even exaggerating. I have them at different angles. They have different stands, so then I can adjust them throughout the day to just slightly change my wrist. It's funny. It's sad too. So that's it. Final thoughts. These people want to sell you an ERP system. Oh, can we get a list of all the ERP? Let's see. ERP systems. Let's go back out of these pictures. Top 10. Let's see what the top 10 are. Top 10 ERP vendors. Is this the same? Not okay. Cool. Yeah, this will work. Okay, so we got Drake Illusion ERP. Wow, number 1. Never heard of them. NetSuite, Multiview. Have not heard of them. QT9. Have not heard of them. Katana Manufacturing, Catchy, Sage. Have heard of them. Microsoft Dynamics. We're gonna expand this. We're just gonna leave it hanging at Dynamics, but specifically GP. Leading. What? These weren't the leading ones. What was the title of this one?
There's just
top.
10.
Oh, top vendors. And then we have the leading ERP software options. SAP, Oracle's ERP cloud. Then we have Microsoft, which would cover the full umbrella of us and all the other ones. So we got what?
Hey, there we are down there.
Where?
So some of the products include Dynamics 365 Finance, Business Central, and Supply Chain Management. I cut out the Dynamics 365 on the other two.
So we got Finance, Business Central, Supply Chain Management. And I don't think they probably list the other ones because they don't really actively sell them, but you can still buy them from what I hear. You can still buy a GP implementation, and I think you can still buy an SL one if you really want. In 4, IFAS, Workday. I've actually heard of Workday.
Yeah, I have too.
Epicor, I've heard of them. Avast, nope. Deltek, nope. Sage, yep. NetSuite wasn't listed down in here. I guess that's part of Oracle's, right? I think that's Oracle's. Thought it was Oracle. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know.
The main ones that we hear kicked around the most are ours, obviously, in the Microsoft sphere, SAP, NetSuite, right? Sage. Yep. Yeah, don't forget about Sage. And QuickBooks. I can't believe QuickBooks didn't make the list.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
QuickBooks is still used heavily. I don't know if they're gonna stop.
Yeah,
making
a scary amount. Well, for smaller companies, I could see it making sense. But when they start to get big and they're still using it, it's like, okay, well, hopefully, everything's good there.
Yep. So let's see. I need to probably go here, and then I haven't heard of anybody running off Excel or paper for a while. I did maybe 10 years ago. People still doing handwritten paper, and people just only using, the whole accounting department's only using Excel. Most people used QuickBooks as the bare minimum, I would say.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of that. I think it must have faded out before I started.
Yeah, probably. Hopefully.
Do we have time for our coffee
right before
refill?
we dive into what is Business Central, or in this case, I don't know. It is Business Central. I didn't see a title anywhere that said business. I was like, well, I guess I just clicked Dynamics 365, but it looks like us. So, yep. We'll be back in just a minute. Let's go over here, put this on for us, and throw on some quick music.
That's
there we go.
Music.
We'll make a quick one. So,
yep.
Cool.
Super quick.
You back? I see blinky eyes, but I don't hear anything.
Hello?
Oh, now I do.
I was looking for a joke. I forgot to get my jokes set up.
Jokey jokes. I'll catch one on the next little bit. Wow,
Yep.
that's a weird zoom.
Yeah.
A little disorienting. Let's see. Do they have anything good on their landing page? Connect businesses, do stuff, licensing, buy our stuff. Yeah. Typical. All right. Microsoft Dynamics 365 documentation. Oh my gosh. Let's see. You can go to Business Central. So this is docs.microsoft.com for those that may have not visited here before. And look at all these different documents that you can look at. Supply Chain Insights is only in preview. Sales, Premium, Enterprise, and Professional. But Business Central's first. Look at that, first.
Number 1.
Until there's an A product that they come up with.
I know.
Or a B, a much easier B.
Yeah.
So we'll be first for a while. And if you come into that, I think that is just going to take us to Welcome to Business Central. And here you can learn all about Business Central. We're not going to go through it, but I would definitely, if you don't currently come here, I would say this is a very, very, very good spot to come right here. The new and planned for what is coming up. So aren't we, oh, that's Power Platform release wave 2. And then we got another wave 2. They never put their wave 2 up here. But you can Google it and find it. I don't know how to click it. They should really put that up there. You can get a free trial of Business Central.
Oh.
Let's see if we can get to that. We'll go to wave 1, just so everybody knows. Yeah, here's the wave 2. Why do you put this link on the page
Inside.
of wave 1? Whatever. So we're going to go to the current wave. Then you can go back to wave 1. That one makes sense. The wave 2 one needs to be on the landing page. And we're getting all these new features. Twice a year you get all these new features. And they change all the time. I'm scrolling really fast, sorry. And if you want to know what's new and planned, you can come here and they keep you updated. Did that take us to a new tab? No. So I can go back. I'm going to go back a couple. And then getting started. Look at all this. Learn, try, of course, buy. Get started with a subscription. Quick starts. Get productive. Quick questions. Look at all this. Tell me. Help and support. Our video library. Oh my gosh. What kind of videos do they have? Come see the videos now. Look at this.
Holy smokes.
Do you want to learn about Business Central? Well, you can waste your life with 3-minute little videos forever. And just wait until we show you all the other resources there are.
Yeah, that is one. Well, I've only worked in Business Central and Nav, but it's nice because there is a lot of information out there. Lots of blogs and videos, and it's a pretty awesome community, if I do say so myself.
And that's why we're here, to help everybody.
Yeah, we want to contribute.
And I think our angle, which is a little different, is that I haven't seen anybody else live streaming and answering questions. If there are, please let us know, because we will like them and point them out and give them, we'll probably subscribe to them if they're doing a mediocre job like us or better.
I thought you were going to say, that way we can take ideas.
No, I was just trying to promote them. You were just talking about how good the community is, and now you're like, we're going to go steal ideas from these other channels.
Yeah.
No, I'm just...
Hey, we're friends.
We're all friends.
It's called sharing.
It's called sharing. I guess it's in the public domain, so it's free game, right?
Yeah.
No, but yeah, we'll like you and give you a subscriber. And hopefully you do the same back to us. Yeah, that would be the best if you could unsubscribe somebody. Like, no, I don't want your subscription. Please stay away.
I'm
Get
good.
a cease and desist order from visiting my website. Oh, that would be the best. All right, so there's lots of here. They're going to talk about all this business functionality. So if you want to deep dive into warehouse management, let's say, and you can click here. After goods are received and before goods are shipped, a series of internal warehouse activities take place to ensure an effective flow through the warehouse and to organize and maintain company inventories. Awesome. So much fun. Receive items, cross-dock items, putting away items. Putting items away, I should read it correctly. Moving items.
Just make it up.
Picking items. And shipping items. Wow. Let's see what else we got. Sales, which is really important to most businesses. You got sales overview. That's a lot more words, so we're not going to read all that. But you can register new customers, make sales quotes, invoice sales, sell products, post sales. Oh, I hope you can post sales.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Print the picking list. Create recurring sales and purchase lines, make drop shipments, create special orders, correct or cancel unpaid sales invoices, process sales returns or cancellations. I could go on forever. There is an insane amount that the system can do. And you don't have to use it all to use the system. You can just be just a finance group. You can just utilize finance, sales, and I'd imagine you'd have some sort of purchasing, but maybe not. Maybe you can just do those two, and you don't even have to do inventory with sales. You could just run GL and invoices completely out of it. So many different things that you can do, combos that work best for you and your business. And I would be surprised if most of what you want isn't accomplished in here. I do see that there's still holes, because that's where ISVs and add-on products come in and fill those little holes to help with, let's say, EDI. I had a comment not too long ago that like another system has EDI built in. Well, that's great. Are they ERP experts or are they EDI experts? You kind of, sometimes it's interesting to think about, is the system, does an add-on for, let's continue with EDI, does that get built better by a company that's all they do? And then you get extra things like the van and, processing center, and just a whole lot of extra little things maybe from them that you wouldn't just from buying an off-the-shelf product, right? Costs that you might not account for that come in because then you got to set up these certain things, and then maybe their EDI isn't as flexible. I don't know. I'm not trying to badmouth any ERP that has EDI built in, but just because Business Central doesn't have a particular module doesn't mean that the system won't work for you. And it also doesn't mean it will, just because of how flexible it is. Sometimes buying some of those industry-specific softwares are better for your business. That's why you have to do the evaluation and see what works best for you. Security, privacy, they have some of that, and compliance. If you want to learn about that, they have fancy documents, only in English though. Aren't very long. It's like we do security.
Just so you know.
So you know. It's the best. I've seen a big page somewhere, but you gotta drill into it. Yeah, a little bit about security.
Like on-prem's a little better.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen the online compliance, and it's like this big long list of compliance. Oh, discontinued security after this. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
So there's all of that. And then we have both the cloud and the on-premise versions of our software. Depending on your business needs, you can do any of it. All right, what do we got next? Development. Oh, this is the juiciest part.
Yep. It's my favorite part. I've been waiting.
You can customize all kinds of stuff. Everything. I don't know, is there anything that we can't customize? You might have to switch to the on-prem version, but I don't think there's anything we can't customize. Really.
Yeah, there's some system tables, but
Yeah, but then you just build it and go around it.
yeah.
And to me, that's customizing. Okay, if a system table you can't change it, then you just build one that's the exact copy of it and just kind of fork wherever its stuff's going. Now that's a lot harder. It's a lot easier said than done. But is there anything we couldn't? Yeah, I'd say the system tables will be the funkiest.
Those are the most difficult. It's yeah, I mean, there's been a few things that I didn't think I could find a workaround for that somebody else did. So yeah, I don't think I've heard of anything that was like a hard no.
Yeah.
Is
it's
it
just
worth
how much
it?
money do you want to spend?
Is it worth the change?
Yeah. Is it worth the change?
Come up a lot. Like, okay, yeah, we can do that.
I would say that, yeah, that's where it really comes down to. Is this worth it to do all that? Maybe, maybe not. And then what kind of maintenance and scaling, just everything ongoing. Next, we have resources for developer. Tons of resources for developers. If you want to get into it, it is a great product to pick up, especially if you might have trouble finding your place in other software. Definitely give this a look. There's lots of businesses that use business software, ERP systems, and Business Central in specific. I do know that our job market's pretty juicy, I believe. I haven't looked for a little while to see if there's a lot of postings out there, but it does still seem like there's a lot of opportunities for somebody to get in. Now, entry level is a little trickier, and that's why you would definitely want to probably practice if you can on your own, or try to get in. Like a lot of times if you work at a client and they use the software, then maybe you can get in and try to help out doing some little development, messing with pages, stuff like that. Definitely work with your partner if you have one and you're new, to make sure that you're doing the changes in a best practice, standardized manner to help your company and whoever else is working on the system.
Well, one of the tabs that we have, and we'll get to him after, Steve Endow, he started a couple years ago. One of his streams was getting started with Business Central from scratch, which is how I first heard about him, because I was looking for something and he was going over a process that I needed some help on, and it was pretty awesome. Like that's how we started, just learning it from scratch and getting in there and messing around. I haven't watched too much because, you know, mostly just need bits and pieces, but he was a pretty good resource.
Yep, and we'll cover him in a second because we're gonna probably breeze by. We're almost Microsoft documentation, super good, super deep. From seeing the versions, I started back when it was nav. So if you hear Darcy or I say nav, it's the same thing as Business Central. It's just the previous version before they rebranded it. There's other channels and other people that give a history of where it came from. We'll let them do it because they do a really good job on it. I think Erik, he does it, right? I think he has a history of nav. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so.
But you'll hear those two terms, but the documentation that they currently have is insane. I mean, it is very good. Very, like, a lot of times I go there first to try to figure out how to do stuff, and then I go to other people. Now, there are mistakes in their documentation. I think in their API documentation, there's like typos here and there. uh, which is really difficult for people starting out on APIs, and then you're dealing with a typo. That's really, it's a little tough.
Well, the nice thing about it is there's enough time has started to pass now that there is other people have put out blogs and other things like that on how to connect. So if you can't connect and you start Googling more, you'll find the solution instead of figuring it out for yourself.
Yep, for sure. All right, next, just some more documentation. We have many community spots, and we're going to try to keep you in tuned here where the community seems to be the most active, right? Those are the people producing blog posts currently. There's a lot of good past community contributors, but just as with any other technology and software, it gets dated, so you got to be careful. And then you got to be good at picking and choosing what still works from the older stuff. Or maybe there's a better, newer way to do it nowadays. But definitely there's lots of forums, lots of groups, different places. I forgot Mibuso. That's so funny. And there's
right.
Yeah, and then there's even BC Techdays. I was just looking at my tabs. BC Techdays. Let's go. Yeah.
Go to BC Techdays.
It used to be Nav Tech Days. Now it's BC/Nav Tech Days. I guess they decided to put the slash in there.
Just put it little.
And we have one of our friends. He's going to this really soon, in 15 days. And hopefully we get to hear his beautiful voice. I was going to use a different term, but his beautiful voice. I was going to say sexy. But,
you did.
I still did anyways. Get to hear his beautiful voice on here sometime. If he wants to join us, we would love to use his input and insights. But he's going to this. We have friends. That's where we met another one of our friends was at Tech Days. Tech Days is awesome. Awesome. I can't promote this enough. Unfortunately, I don't get to go this year, but
I've never gone.
Huh?
And I've never gone.
Yeah, hopefully then in the next couple of years you'll get to go and I can go, and then you'll get to meet maybe one of us sometime. Yeah. I doubt we'll ever get to go at the same time.
No, I know.
It'd be funny. It'd be hard to line up. All right. Next we have, so this is another good resource, and then Mibuso, we mentioned, I'll bring it up here in a minute. We got a lot of tabs to get through, and we'll probably go past our 7:30 mark. But here's offline documentation. I guess Erik put a downloadable spot.
Oh.
I guess he just links us back, but he talks about you can download it. Okay, so he's saying there's a button somewhere on there that says you can download a PDF of all that documentation. I'm gonna look real quick. Take a second to look at that. Yeah. Oh, what do you know?
Hey.
I'd never noticed that before. Thanks, Erik. We're gonna go promote him real quick.
I have enough PDFs that I don't.
Yeah, I don't need to download it. But if you're traveling and you're offline, maybe that's good plane reading material. I don't read on planes because it makes me motion sick. But
yeah. Oh, I can read on planes, just not in cars.
So I could do better in cars than planes.
Weird.
Erik is one of my favorite contributors.
Yep, he's pretty awesome.
I don't think I could ever keep up with his posting schedule, and we'll cover his YouTube here in a second. But since we were talking about him,
let's not try.
Huh? Yeah.
I said, let's not try.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be like, I quit. I'm just kidding.
No, we lose the eggplant and our artist. Oh my gosh, that's too critical.
That's two things.
Two things. We're working on replacing the artist part of it, but I don't know.
Yeah,
oh, sorry, I'm just joking. You knew we were playing yesterday, but we're not replacing you. We're just gonna enhance you.
Yep.
But the voice and the eggplant can't be replaced. And putting up with me. All right.
Artist part.
When you get started, definitely, as any developer, I'm not promoting GitHub as the only choice, but definitely have a code repository. Store
Yes,
your
please.
code, save it. Don't just save it on a computer. But also be aware of the user agreements that you sign when you click and create an account on here or Azure DevOps. I do believe you give them access to read your code. Just keep that in mind if you're trying to do something that Microsoft, because Microsoft owns GitHub, Microsoft owns Azure DevOps, that you don't want them scanning. I think it's the same user agreement that you sign when you use Google Drive, that it allows them to scan all your files. And if they can do that, then they can pull out code. And if they can build code from code, they can read what's going on. And just keep that in mind as a little side. I think about that sometimes. But GitHub, save it either somewhere. GitHub or Azure DevOps are both great resources. Both are free for one person, I believe. I don't want to chat with anybody.
Thanks.
And we prefer Azure DevOps because you can do a little more. You have boards, but the rest of it is all part of GitHub, I believe. Not part of it, but you can use Git protocol, and you can link Azure DevOps. If you want to use both, you can use Azure DevOps with GitHub and link to those repositories. The reason we mentioned GitHub first, because Microsoft puts all their documentation and all their stuff out on GitHub. Here is one spot, Microsoft Docs, Dynamics 365 SMB-Docs, and as you can see, it's pretty recently updated. Anything within 6 months I would call recent.
And there's some 2 days.
And we'll just dive in real quick to see what the 2 days was. And they are fixing up local functionality, breadcrumb, links to something. Yeah, there's a bunch of things they touched up in here. Cool. Another good GitHub spot is Microsoft/AL. Our current programming language is called AL. It used to be CAL or Cal. But if you want any kind of samples, scripts, stuff, I would definitely stop here. This is a very popular stop. And this particular one, oh no, look at it. It is
5 months
not
ago.
being updated. 5 months. Ugh. Well, lucky for us, we have another one that's getting bumped up that is called Microsoft BC Tech. And if you want to go back
2 hours ago.
Go see all the different things that they have, by the way, you can just hit back there. 2 hours ago on samples, what did they just update? App Insight stuff. Oh my gosh. New performance reports and dashboards. Yay. 2 months, cloud migration, compression, 7 days, some Excel stuff. Hello World hasn't been updated for 4 years. Very sad about that. I use that all the time.
Oh my gosh, it's so annoying. when a repo, yeah.
It still has the original stuff, the Hello World things in it. Yeah. Oh, I haven't seen one of those for a long time. ALGO, or I don't even remember how to start stuff like through that. Even though there are reasons to do that now with the pipelines and maybe, I don't know. Well, there's your GitHub resources. We touched on Azure DevOps, which you'll be seeing us use. This is our one of choice. It's, like I said, it's free for up to 5 people. If you got a nice small little group. One of the add-ons that I like for Azure DevOps is Time Tracker. I'll promote them all day long. And the only reason I promote that one as my time tracking one is because I can integrate with it. It's got an API. It comes right into DevOps, so then it matches all my boards and my code with time. And it's just so pretty. And if I want to change anything, I can do whatever I want. So, yeah, that's why I like DevOps, and I'll be a big fan of it. It's not that I'm opposed to GitHub. GitHub's just fine too. It just doesn't have boards. So
Yeah,
that's pretty
and
much it.
it's nice having boards.
That's it. I mean, if you got boards, you're good to go. All right. We are almost to another break. Do we want to take a break now before we get into our community?
Yeah, we'll take a quick one before we finish up.
Yeah, we'll leave it on what page looks the best? Who do we want to promote? Yeah, this one right here.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Hopefully, you can go meet our friend. And if you send us a message, before we go on break, and we're going to repeat this a few times, if you want to have us look at anything, please reach out to us at YouTube at pretendingtoprogram.tech. I almost forgot our own email address. I think we have a few others, but do the YouTube one for now. We'll put a few of our other ones. It's just same mailbox, just different prefixes. But if you go to our website, pretendingtoprogram.tech, you can also submit through there on the contact page, or even there's a live chat option that sometimes runs on Saturdays. I don't think anybody's monitoring it because we haven't done it yet, but it's there, and it will still email us even if we don't answer right away. But all right, we'll be back in a few minutes.
Yep. Hello? What do accountants suffer from that ordinary people don't?
What?
Deprecation. Stupid.
Any others?
How many accountants does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Sounds like we're banging on accountants here.
Right? Well, it's accounting jokes.
I know.
The answer is how many did it take last year? That's dumb.
Oh, that was funny.
There's a pun. It's an accrual world. Oh, jeez.
All right. The community. Well, here is a huge community event. Huge, huge, huge. 10 years of passion about Microsoft Dynamics Business Central. Do they have sponsors on here? Just looking. 4Nav, ALOps, InsightWorks. wonder if he even promotes Mibuso anymore. Yeah, there he does. Cool. Mibuso is the OG.
Yep.
Right? Of resource. Your featured download. So I was like, right? There's nothing here. This used to be my main go-to. I haven't used it tons as of the last few years, but it looks like they are still super active on posting, right?
Mm-hmm.
This would be a good place to come to still, I would say. Other great places might be Microsoft Dynamics 365. This is Microsoft's official channel with not tons of subscribers. I would just think they'd have like 100K. That's all. That's like kind of where my threshold's at. But they post everything about all their products in the D365 sphere. So you definitely have to pick out between Business Central and what used to be called F&O, Finance and Operations. But I think it's like, I don't know what the name of it is nowadays. They can't settle on a name for that. But
Yeah,
there
but
are...
they do a pretty good job of saying, if you're just looking for Business Central, you can search.
Yeah.
And I think they've got separate
YouTube channel?
no playlist.
Oh, okay, let's
That's
see.
the word.
Yeah. 365, customer stories, Dynamics 365 applications, Power Platform. Nope.
But in here. So
If you
yeah, they've got 13 video. Yeah. So I mean, at least they'll.
Are you talking about in the little ones? I get you.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yep. This one's okay. I don't ever really come here, but I have come here. I just wanted to point it
Yeah.
out.
Every
as a
once in a
place.
while, they have some good stuff in there.
Number one resource currently to date. Erik Hougaard.
Yep.
This dude's insane. That's all there is to it. It's just insane. And I will show you why. Because you saw Microsoft. A bazillion videos, right? Look, we could scroll for days. But across many different product lines. Erik Hougaard. Videos. Scroll for days on specifically Business Central.
Yep.
Look at that. Days. And these aren't short videos. Just keep that in mind. These aren't like 5-minute videos. These are all 20 minutes in length. Not every single one, but majority.
Yeah.
Majority is a 20-minute video, if not more, maybe just a hair less, and they are all current, very relative to how you work. Things that you can and should know. I would say it's an insane amount to know. But definitely, and don't feel overwhelmed. Just start watching them. That's it. And if I was to suggest, I would go maybe a year ago and then start there. I don't know, because from the beginning, it may take you a while to get to current. 6 months ago and start there just to get a little bit history. But you could even start as quick as yesterday. But it might not make sense. Anything you wanted to add?
I was just gonna say one of the things that I like about his channel is, if code doesn't work, he leaves it in and then he explains why it didn't work, or you see him try and figure out how to make it work. It's really nice to not have to see everything working perfectly the first time. It's nice to see how other people deal with a problem.
Yep.
I like his channel. It's good.
Yeah. So definitely go check out his channel, subscribe and like it. We're promoting his channel more than ours.
Yep.
After you do ours, of course.
Yeah, us first, and then we'll just tell you to go watch that on Erik's channel.
But part of our goal is what you just said, is not only to try to help people with any problems or issues that we can solve in an hour and a half, but also show the process that not everything goes perfect. And doing live coding, you will get to see that. You will get to see us work through issues. And that's what he does. He more or less does live coding. I don't see tons of edits in his videos. They might not be edited at all. I haven't paid that close attention, but I have noticed that I don't notice edits. It's not that hard to tell when they jump across the screen. But definitely check this one out. This is my favorite. This is usually where I go and scan, but it's not a read. That's the problem. So if you're a reader and not a listener, then it's hard to go find that or bookmark it or get back to that spot or find all the little tidbits. So it may not be for you. That's why there are plenty of other people that do posts. And we have Stefano does actively post. And I think this one, because I was talking about this not too long ago, is pretty current. Yep, I put him first because I think he was the most recent post. That's how I ordered him. He got ordered by your frequency of posting. Yeah, here's something that we should probably be aware of, which I was talking about a while ago. Not like as a blog and not trying to say that I knew before. It's just this is going to be an issue. Delegated admins, too granular delegated admins. Everybody's going to have to refresh how this works. Right here, partners will need to update their process for acquiring new customer, CSP customers. They will start removing. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff in here. Read it. What? What are you laughing about?
Because you were just reading it and you're like, no, there's a lot of stuff.
Well, I want people, we got tabs to cover, so
yeah,
you can read for yourself.
We can hit it later.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to do this. This one's going to be a hard one to talk through.
Yeah.
It's kind of boring. I mean, I don't care about setting up users.
We don't want the boring stuff. We want the fun shiny things.
Yeah, this is like, okay, it's interesting, but it annoys me when everybody has, like, when you're still in the SaaS world and you're a partner and you tell your client, hey, please pay for a license and set up user logins. That annoys me. And that's the only reason I pay attention to this, because it's like, what? I can't just use my same login that I get to use everywhere and you can completely control access? Okay. But whatever. So we probably won't cover that. What's this one? Quick reminder for some upcoming changes. I don't know. What's the quick reminder? Business Central, Wave 2. Things won't work. And whoa, what's this? Support for the FLF file format for Business Central licenses. This happened with 23. I was like, whoa, that's pretty major. On-premises will be renewed. The new .bc license format will be the one and only supported version from version 22 in next releases. They got tired of seeing Fin license file. BC license.
Like, no more.
Yeah, they're like, nope. I wonder if they changed the structure of it. Huh, interesting.
I don't know.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. That's why you follow up on these blogs and testing Azure function performances with Azure load testing. That's really cool. We'll probably cover that.
Yeah, we should.
You like building Azure functions, don't you?
No.
Upload files to SFTP via PowerShell. Oh, I think he won in most recent posts. I think I had him out of order. So, Roberto, you might be our current winner of my tabs. So he's got lots of stuff. We'll include all these people. And usually, no. Oh, yeah, they do. Usually on the side, you'll find a bunch of other links that they link to. Some are old, some are new. So just try to figure it out. If you have any questions, definitely reach out to us. We'll try to answer them. if it's relative or not, if it's something you might want to know. And then we have Waldo, who is probably one of the more famous names in our community sphere. He definitely posts a lot of stuff and helps out and is active in the community. And this is his page. That's all we're going to talk about on him. There's no reason I'm skipping him. I'm just trying to get through stuff.
Yep.
Steve Endow, who stole our coffee name as a title.
Yeah, even though he has posts with that name from 2 years ago.
Doesn't matter.
Or a year ago.
We thought about it before
Rude.
we thought about it.
We've been doing coffee talks for 7 years.
Yes. Coffee talks for 7 years. Even though we never publicly told anybody.
Nope.
It was just private coffee talks. But Steve Endow, I would definitely say we're subscribed and liked to him. And another great resource. Excellent resource, because look at this. Learning BC development from scratch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. Right?
Yeah, he's got a ton. Yep. Ton of
And
stuff.
then Docker stuff. Docker. So he actually is a Docker fan. We're going to cheat. Our version's a cloud version, so we don't have to use Docker.
Yeah. We're not going to be any help there.
Yeah, we're not going to be any help on the Docker side. It's just...
Do you have questions about Docker?
Yep. Just
resource.
putting it out there, I would say I don't think we're going to do any on-prem programming. Because for one, we don't have a license for on-prem. And we
definitely
pay for
don't have a
subscription.
BC. What was it? .bc license?
Yeah, .bc
instead
license.
of FLF.
Yep, FLF. So we don't have FLF license because we're not a reseller, we're not a partner. We're just an eggplant and a bear trying to dump our brain onto the internet.
Yeah.
And add bad commentary to go along with it.
Yes. Well, at least we're succeeding in one of those things.
Yep. You can choose. But Steve definitely will help you get up and going, I think for free. We're still a little foggy if Docker ends up being like you can do everything. Because where I'm confused is like, what kind of license do they put in there? They put a developer license in there? You know, because even if it's on-prem, what kind of dev are you doing? You got to have a developer. You got to have those granules opened up. So it's really interesting. I don't know. We don't really care. If you want to learn more about Docker, go to him or Freddie. Freddie is all about some Docker because he built I believe he built the little PowerShell helper thing. Definitely.
Well, no wonder.
Read up on Freddie, talk to Steve, go to those two if you want to learn about Docker and how to get your environment set up. We will not cover it, and we will not be, not that we are refusing to help, but we won't be any help to help you on your Docker stuff. Like, it'd just be a waste of our time and your time.
Yeah, more your time.
We would try to help. We would do our best, but we're just going to be Googling. So if you want to learn how we Google, then ask us a Docker question.
Yeah. Please don't ask a Docker question.
Yeah. But anything within the programming, actually, once you get in and program, we can work on-prem. We can work, we can probably answer the questions that relate to on-prem stuff. We just won't be able to show any examples. Typically, I always try to recommend building all your code for SaaS, and then if you have to, make the little pieces work for on-prem. But I can't think of anything now that you have to like do like that. Yeah. Another great resource is Kauffmann, but he hasn't been posting as recent, so dropped off back in February. But this is another great resource. He was very active in posting, but it looks like he's slowed down a little bit, and we know how hard it is. So we understand, but still, there's some good nuggets in there. One of the ones that I use all the time is, can I search this thing? Yeah, I can. API. Look at this. Oh, he's got actual courses on here? Oh, okay. I was like, wow. Here, this one. I always come and reference this for the sales aggregate stuff. This one is what I usually pull up on his page. So I have these bookmarked. Extending standard APIs and extending standard APIs part 2. Cool? Cool.
Very cool.
I'm not even going to begin to try to pronounce his name, but this is another good resource.
The
Vjeko?
That's what I thought.
Is the J silent? Vjeko? Vjeko? Is it an H? I don't know. I don't know these things, so I'm going to go with... You can say it. You can... Then he can get mad at
I
you.
thought I'd heard it before. Now I feel like maybe I'm making it up.
We'll find one of his videos where he says his own name.
Where he introduces himself.
Yeah. I've met him before. I took one of his I don't know, little sessions at Techdays, one of the pre-conference sessions, and he is an insanely awesome resource. This dude does crazy stuff. He's one of my inspirations. This is one of my favorite inspirations because he just tries way crazy out of the box stuff. And that's what I love. I love crazy out of the box things.
That's totally you.
Yep. And this guy is my inspiration on the stuff he used to do and still probably does. And it looks like he's in charge of the Object Ninja, AL Object ID Ninja, which is great. That's one of the tools I use all the time. And we'll talk about those. And that brings us to the end of our tabs. Anything else that we want to talk about?
No. Just again, I think it would be awesome if anybody has any questions for us, code related and BC, to let us know so we can have some fun stuff to work on.
We didn't mention you by name. If you're still listening, there's only certain people that we've either gotten permission or we just take permission. But we will try our best to not mention our friends unless they want to be mentioned. And we'll do it because I was just reading my Discord chat. We do have
chatting in chat.
Huh? Yeah, I know.
Aren't they chatting in chat?
I know. And
they don't want me to see.
He you know who I'm talking about. He said he's famous now because we mentioned him earlier. But
yeah, people are gonna go to Techdays and they're gonna be like, "Are you friend? Are you friend? I'm gonna meet this friend."
That's the best. That would be the best. That would be such a developer thing to do. And if you don't know, developers are so much fun. There's some of us that are a little more stoic, and maybe you would even use the word stuffy, but I'm telling you, they're even fun. It's so much.
The only time I was around a bunch of developers was when I first started. Jeff had me go to a coding camp for a day.
Oh, and you gotta tell them you really first started. So really set that up before you go to this coding camp.
How I started?
No. Okay, I'll set it up and then you can go with your story. So Darcy was a totally new programmer when I started working with her. And when I say totally new, just totally new, never coded. And not written a single line of code. And so we're training her. I think, what are we, about 3 months in, 6 months in? How far?
I'd say with you and I working together, maybe like 3 months. It hadn't been long. I had done some functional training with another one of our buddies. But yeah.
Okay.
I had only been with you for like 3 months.
Let's say 3 months, never wrote a line of code. And she's coming along all right. You know, totally just in general, still new. Learning the ropes of just programming, trying to, do her thing. And I suggested I don't know how we found it, but there was this coding boot camp or just like a mini conference or something. Mm-hmm. And I suggested that she goes to it. And it's not even on Business Central. Like, I've been training her.
He told me I had to go.
Okay, had to go, yes.
Folks, he told me I had to go.
Yeah, had to go. And that sounds more like what I would say.
Yeah.
And so she has only, at this point, seen Business Central code. And if you've ever programmed in any other languages, you know that I consider, like, from what I think, that Business Central AL code or Cal code, whatever it was at the time, is baby. Is like really basic and really... it's not as complex as other languages. And now I ask her or tell her to go to this camp. And that is not on Business Central at all.
Nope.
So now tell your story.
Oh, yeah. It was really awkward. Had a really hard time talking to anybody. I get really awkward in groups, and everybody was getting along and talking, and it was awful. I did get hit on by one guy. He started following me around trying to help me out, and that was nice, I guess. But yeah, I was ready to go home. Like, I
the
even
hitting
ate,
on and the following or the helping
yeah,
part?
just to not be alone for a second. But
Gotcha.
no, like I even ate my lunch alone. It was really awful, and I think I'm like the only person. Well, I felt like the only person in the world that could be around um, a whole bunch of people that have um, I think maybe a stereotype of kind of being loners and awkward, and still be the most awkward person. It's a gift, I guess, to always be the most awkward. That's not true. I'm not always the most awkward, but I very much was that day. I wanted to go home, but I knew Jeff would get mad if I went.
Yes. And what
So
was
I
your
stayed.
takeaway? You came back actually pretty excited from that. Even as awkward as it was.
Yeah, well, because of the community. I mean, I honestly I didn't think that like Jeff said, this isn't my background. I went to school for accounting, and in my 30s no less. So starting this and seeing the community and seeing the way that people were interacting, and um it was very exciting. I was really glad that I went. Um Awkwardness aside, again, it's my superpower, I guess, so I'm kind of used to it. But yeah, no, I learned a lot. I wanted to go to another. I haven't found anything that nearby that has anything like that, but um since that one, but we'll see.
What do you think the reason that I asked you to, or told you, I keep saying ask, but told you to go to that? What did I expect you to get out of it?
Honestly don't remember. I know it was a good experience, so I'm glad, but I whatever it is that you're asking me, I'm not sure I'm going to answer it.
That's fine. The reason that I had asked a new developer to go to a totally different language conference, like it was just over all kinds of different development stuff, right? It wasn't even a specific
Yep.
language. It was just a
No.
general development conference. And they had a lot of cool topics and stuff like that. But I knew that
Mhm.
she wouldn't know anything. But that's part of what we have to do all the time as developers. We get thrown into tons of stuff. We have no clue what we're looking at, what we're hearing, what is it supposed to do, and we got to figure it out. And usually there's like money riding on it. Companies are trying to operate and they need this. And it's really, it was, the point of it was to get your feet wet in those types of situations. Like you
Yeah.
had been just, one on one, me helping you. And this was the first time that I think I threw you into something totally foreign, which wasn't the last, by the way.
No.
But
Still.
yeah, still do it. And so
You're like, let's do this show. I'm like, okay.
yeah, let's do this show. Or let's work on stable diffusion and
Oh yeah, that was
AI
fun.
art generation. Yeah, and if you don't know, that's like my new current little shiny.
Hmm.
But we'll talk about that probably next episode. Um, but yeah, so as a developer, you better get used to being uncomfortable. That's it. That's all there is to it. And the more you thrive in that uncomfortableness, I think the better you'll be as a developer. Because a lot of times we have no clue what we're doing. We have an idea, but that's all we have.
Yeah.
Like, no clue on how to accomplish that idea or that request. And that's even from, senior developers that in Business Central, I wouldn't ever claim that I'm a senior developer in other languages. Sometimes I just know how to hack stuff together. But Darcy is also a great senior developer in Business Central, and has lots of experience that hopefully she can share. And she comes from a different point of view. I've been programming pretty much as long as I can remember, since I was a kid. And she came in later into the game, but has done quite well. So if you have any questions, please reach out. As long as they're programming oriented, we can probably help or try to help. And then more specifically in Business Central, if you see anything that we're doing on screen, ask about it. We would be happy to respond if we notice your chat. Sometimes we don't. And I guess that's about it. That's about us, about what we're trying to do here. We covered all our favorite tabs. I guess next week we'll probably start writing some stuff or working. We'll jump right in. If you need to get started, definitely start watching some of these Learning BC from Scratch series, or read the documentation, or whatever you feel you need to do. If it's even just hard to get started, then ask us and we'll try to help you. Just because we're not covering something that is towards the beginning end of the spectrum doesn't mean we won't be happy to answer the question. And if it's already been asked, we may point you to a previous episode, but then depending on the nature of the question, we probably just answer it right then. All right? And definitely don't come with, hey, can you build this whole big giant thing? That's going to get ignored. If it isn't something that we can, I would even tackle a whole question for the whole episode, but we might have to push it off one episode. Or if you need some help, we meet up a lot, and that's not always live stream, and we could probably help offline on our Discord channel or something. So definitely, if you want to talk to us, get on Discord. Download Discord, create an account, and send us a request through email, and then we'll see if we can add you and see what happens. All right. Anything else you want to add?
Nope.
Okay. For those that aren't just into coding, we have our Coffee and Science. No relation to Steve's channel.
Nope. We drink a lot of coffee and we read articles on science. Sciencey things that we find interesting.
Yep. And so that'll be Saturday at 8. And then this is wrong. I'll fix this. The next community coding will be at 6:30. We're not doing 6 a.m.s. 6 a.m. is off. I'm just done with 6 a.m. Unless something changes in our schedules, but we'll fix that. So 8 and 6:30. 8 and 6:30 are the 2 times you can find us. And if enough people message us, if morning doesn't work out for you, message us and say, hey, I would like to see an evening show.
Why are you telling people this?
Yeah, I know. We've talked about it, but unless we have viewership, we're probably not going to do an evening show. If we see views on our videos, then we may pop in once in a while and just do one unprompted. But if we find that a lot of people want to tune in that later evening, instead of during the day to ask questions, or during the morning, let us know. The morning works a little better for us.
And also just be aware that my brains are toast at night.
Yeah, you'll get
I slur. It's super ridiculous.
We'll try to find a backup for Darcy, like one that can talk for her. Like she'll type and then we'll have somebody else talk. And
that's awesome.
We'll have her do the acting of the eggplant and then somebody else do the voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know she's not a fan of the evening one. I personally kind of like the evening better. I'm not a morning person. But yeah, so it is whatever, but we aren't going to we're not going to switch to an evening. That's not going to happen. But we will entertain doing evening shows. only if there's people that want it. Most of our friends are all wanting to do morning because it's like midday for them. So, all right. Anything else?
Nope. Nope. It's time for me to go to my real job.
Cool. I'm just gonna go out on the boat now.
Rude.
Yeah. Life of a non-worker.
Right.
All right, let's
Okay.
see. We got an outro video to play, and then we will be done. Let's see if I can get it going. Oh, look at this. Is it going to apply? Coffee? Nope, it's not going to apply. We're going to stop it. I got to change the title of our outro video.
Yep.
No, like have a second one. Or 3 or something. I don't know. So, all right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.